Hello, and welcome to a presentation on Classical Art Research Center's Beazley Archive at the University of Oxford. The Beazley Archive contains 100,000 records, 150,000 images, and over 20,000 registered users around the world. Through gifts and purchases, the archive now boasts 500,000 notes, 150,000 black and white photographs, 33,000 negatives, 7,000 color prints, 2,000 books, and 50,000 gem impressions. Beginning digitization of records in the 1970s, the Beazley Archive has undergone constant upgrades and now boasts thousands of fixed HTML pages, with others able to be created and populated on demand, a 300-page online dictionary, and W3C AA compliance. Beginning in 2000, Beazley has worked in tandem with two other archaeological centers, the Forschungsarchiv für Antiquplastik in Cologne and Lexikon Ikonographicum Mythologie Classicae, to create a simultaneous search mechanism of ancient Greek and Roman art in major international university collections, research institutes, and museum collections. This project is known as Kleros. The pottery database, begun in 1979, incorporates both Henry Immerwahr's unpublished work, Corpus of Attic Vase Inscriptions, containing 8,000 records and 300 out-of-print fascicules of Corpus Vasarum Antiquorum, published since 1922. In 2004, Beazley launched the CVA Online database of 100,000 vases located in 120 collections among 26 countries. CVA Online provides museums the ability to add new data and bibliography remotely. The Classical Art Research Center is the administrative unit charged with hosting the Beazley Archive, as well as furthering research in the field of art and archaeology. To briefly summarize the work and credentials of the center's leading minds, Dr. Peter Stewart, the program's director, previously lectured in classics and held the position of curator of the Ur Museum of Greek Archaeology at Reading University. His research is concerned with ancient sculpture, including Roman provincial art. Dr. Thomas Manick is the director of Beazley's Pottery Database. An expert on Athenian painted pottery, he is highly published, his works including Oxford's Corpus Vasarum Antiquorum. Dr. Claudia Wagner is Beazley's director of Gem Database and Gem Research. She has written extensively on gem collecting, including her recent book, The Marlborough Gems. Having served as assistant director of the British School at Athens, assistant keeper of the Ashmolean Museum, and Oxford lecturer of over almost 20 years, Professor Sir John Boardman is considered one of the foremost experts on ancient Greek art. Additionally, Beazley is operated by Greg Parker, who developed the database and programming infrastructure for Beazley's websites and online databases. Parker has managed the Beazley Archive since 1996. The pottery database can either be searched through selective browsing or advanced searching after providing user login information. Searching by shape will yield over 100 different pottery forms, including canopic jars, drinking horns, and beakers. A search by technique offers about 30 known styles, including enamel, silhouette, and black slipware. Sub-technique searching is identical in function to technique searching, except it's broken down into many more code classes for experts-only searching. Painter or potter searching offers a list of more than 200 known artists, including Aristophanes, Dionysius, and Onesimus, although the vast majority of credentials are, of course, simply offered in the form of, quote, boot painter or painter of the Acropolis 606. Unfortunately, although each piece with an inscription is denoted as such by being either kalos, kale, agraphison, apoision, graffito, patronymic, or signature, this access point is still under development and offers no functionality currently. Subject searching I found to be the most useful. The most basic breakdown is into gods and goddesses, heroes and myth, or the human sphere/daily life. Choosing gods and goddesses offers sorting by all pottery containing either Zeus, Demeter, or Pan. Heroes and myths break down into categories such as Perseus, Odysseus, or the Trojan War. The human sphere/daily life allows for searching by cultural reference, such as education, theater, or music. Collection searching is perhaps the least useful for the average searcher, as it sorts all pieces by their host institution, a list of over 120 museums, university collections, and institutes and seminars. Finally, searching by date offers probably the most useful access point for students of archaeology. Dates are first broken down into 50-year increments between 800 BCE to 100 BCE. Choosing a period then offers further drill-down specificity into any of the other 7 categories. Thus, a student can quickly and easily find all plate fragments from 625 to 575, or all relief painting between 300 and 200, or all potters active between 525 and 475, of which there are around 500 artists. In addition to date searching, a list of the most commonly searched artists is provided by era on the Classical Art Resource Center's Resources page. Under the Classical Art Research Center's Resources page, the archive offers a short but informative Introduction to Greek Pottery in plain language, which touches on the basics of technique and style, painters and potters, shapes, inscriptions, and history of collections, scholarships, and connoisseurship, as well as an interactive map that allows drill down by continent, then by region, then by city-state. I found these tools to be highly intuitive and useful, but could be easily ignored. Yet, it's apparent from the wealth of data offered on each record, as well as the sub-technique code class search and advanced searching login, that Beazley is definitely also intended for students and experts in the field. Unfortunately, selection criteria was not easy to interpret. However, based on the current contents of the archive, where the vast majority of items are photographic in nature, one can assume collection is based on relevance to artistic expression in the classical world. Similarly, the archive's goals are not immediately apparent beyond their commitment to being a world center for the study of ancient Greek painted pottery, end quote. And the final statement on their homepage notes, many of the archive's images are available online, but the archive's library remains a resource of central importance for research on classical art. All items are given a vase number as primary numeration when the record is created, of which there are currently over 1 million, though the numbering scheme and start number is not apparent. Each record is divided into a number of fields, of which every record contains a vase number, fabric, and collection record and publication record. Fields which may or may not exist based on extent of known item information include technique, shape name, provenance, date, and attributed to. Fabric refers to region where the piece was created. Shape name attributes type of pottery. Collection record denotes the name and code for which institution the piece is housed in, as well as the location of the item within the institution. Publication record offers a list of monographs and journals where the piece is explored. In some cases, this list is hugely extensive, with noted research conducted in 1890s or 1930s, though most originate from the 1970s, or later. It is unclear whether or not the publication record data is created by the institution where the piece is housed or by Beazley archivists. In some cases, where records are originating in an institution that specializes in archaeology, more fields exist based on local holdings, such as the New York Metropolitan Museum's CAVI collection, numbering, and inscription work. After several hours of browsing, I've concluded that Beazley's archive is both highly intuitive as well as extremely fast-loading and responsive. The only major slowdowns occurred when attempting to load a category with a vast number of records, such as looking up all records with the subject Hermes, for which there's over 2,100. Although some areas are still under construction, such as search by inscription, the provided site is well organized. All records are coded in XHTML and JavaScript. The Beazley archive has a simple but appealing interface. Image files associated with each record are saved in .jpe for thumbnail view. Alternatively, larger images of the pieces are available as a hyperlink from each record, which loads as a .htm and notes boldly, copyright downloaded by such and such user on such and such date from such and such IP, license plate number, 9-digit code, and marked as not for publication, registered, and fingerprinted. So as you can see, larger and more detailed images are available for most pieces, but to ensure copyright protection, they are only viewable in your browser, as these files are created in HTML. Any attempt to download these images will result in this. Thank you for your time, and please visit the Beazley archive from the link provided here.